Every crew chief in the Cup Series garage just got a phone call they weren't expecting. Starting this weekend, the way teams prepare for a race weekend is about to flip upside down. One session, one track, every single car. No more hiding in a smaller group, no more sandbagging your run to throw off the competition. NASCAR just pulled the trigger on a change that touches almost every race left on the 2026 calendar. And depending on who you ask in that garage, this is either the smartest move the sport has made in years, or a decision that's about to blow up strategy as we know it. Here's exactly what's happening. Beginning in New Hampshire Motor Speedway, NASCAR is scrapping the split group practice format. Instead of dividing the field into smaller groups that rotate through shorter sessions, every Cup Series car will now hit the track together at the same time for one uninterrupted 50-minute block. That format sticks around for the rest of the 2026 season, but only at standard weekends. Super Speedway races and the season finale at Homestead keep their own separate rules since those events already run extended or specialized practice setups. One more wrinkle, teams are getting an extra set of practice tires to make use of that longer window. And impound rules after qualifying, those aren't going anywhere. Once you qualify, you're still locked into major setup restrictions before the green flag. Simple version. Bigger practice window. Same car, more tires, no more sneaking around in a smaller pack. This didn't come out of nowhere. For years now, teams have been quietly pushing back on the split session format. When you're only sharing the track with half the field, you're not getting a true read on where you stack up. Your long run pace, your tire wear, your setup, all of it gets measured against an incomplete picture of the competition. Crew chiefs have talked about this in meetings, in interviews, in group text you'll never see. Some wanted more practice time altogether. Others wanted shorter weekends to save money. NASCAR had to find a middle ground, and this is that middle ground. The timing matters too. We're heading into the back half of the season when playoff positioning starts tightening and every practice rep counts more than it did in March. Teams that struggle with long run handling or tire fall off now get a much clearer window to figure it out before it costs them a race or a playoff point. For a locker room, or in this case, a garage, that's a big deal. Engineers get real data, drivers get a true feel for traffic, and crew chiefs get one shot to nail a setup against the entire field, not just half of it. Let's break down why this is bigger than it looks on paper. First, the competitive angle. Combined practice means every team is now working with the same information at the same time. That's a leveling effect. Smaller, lower budget teams that used to get squeezed by uneven track time now get the exact same 50 minutes as the powerhouse organizations. That's a meaningful shift in fairness, and it could tighten the competitive gap heading into the fall stretch. Second, the strategic risk. In the old format, teams could hide their real pace, run a fuel-heavy setup, save your best tune-up for race day, and let your competitors guess. With everyone on track together for a full uninterrupted session, that game gets a lot harder to play. Spotters, engineers, and rival crew chiefs will be watching every single lap. There's nowhere to hide anymore. Third, and this is the part that could shake things up, traffic management becomes a real variable. 50 minutes with the entire Cup Series field on track at once means more cars, more lap traffic scenarios, and more opportunity for a mistake. A late race style incident could now happen during a Friday practice session. That's a real risk NASCAR is accepting in exchange for better data quality. Is this smart or dangerous? Honestly, it's both. It's a smart fix for a fairness problem that's existed for years, but it does raise the stakes for on-track incidents happening earlier in the weekend at a moment when teams are still finding their footing with a fresh setup. The teams that adapt fastest to reading real-time data against the full field, not a partial field, are the ones who benefit the most from this. Everyone else risks getting left behind starting this weekend. You can already feel the split in the fan base. One side is thrilled. They've wanted longer, fuller practice sessions for years, and they're calling this a return to real racing preparation. Cars mixing it up, drivers learning traffic, no more watered-down sessions. The other side is nervous. They're pointing straight at safety. More cars, same track, same session. For some fans, that's a red flag waiting to happen, especially with rookies and lower experienced drivers now sharing the exact same 50 minutes as championship contenders. Media reaction has leaned analytical so far. Most outlets are framing this as a competitive equity move rather than a controversy. But if there's an incident at New Hampshire during that very first combined session, expect the tone to shift fast. Let's talk about where this goes from here. Best case scenario, the combined session becomes an instant hit. teams get cleaner data, competition tightens because everyone's working off the same information. And NASCAR points to this as proof that giving teams a fuller, fairer practice window was the right call all along. This format could easily get extended into 2027 and beyond. Worst case scenario, a crowded 50-minute session leads to an incident, a red flag, or a costly wreck before the race weekend even really begins. If that happens even once at a marquee event, NASCAR faces immediate pressure to walk part of this back or add safety adjustments mid-season. Somewhere between those two outcomes is where this most likely lands. But New Hampshire this weekend is the real test, so here's the real question heading into this weekend. Is this the fix the Cup Series garage has been asking for, or is NASCAR trading a fairness problem for a safety risk? Drop your prediction in the comments. Are you team combined practice, or are you worried this backfires the first time these cars get bunched up together at speed? If you want the breakdown the moment New Hampshire wraps up, make sure you're subscribed because this story is far from over.